All right, we have our form. We've personalized it as we want to. Remembering we've got some settings up here and features with the fonts and colors and added in graphics to go with and get our point across if that suits us. I made all of mine as small as they would go using the sizing handles just to add and give a little bit of variation. So it's not just a bunch of words. And that's totally up to you as the creator. That's what kind of time you have and what kind of a look you're going for. Now that I've done that and I've made all of my questions mandatory, I'm going to go up here to the gear and settings and I want to make some choices. Here's where some really interesting things start to happen. So in the gear, we get to settings. There are three tabs across the top. The first one's general. That will let us collect email addresses. No more no named anything. You don't have to waste question space asking somebody for their name or their email address, which they may very well type in wrong. It will automatically collect those addresses. If you want to give a response receipt, you can do that from here as well. You can restrict it to users in your domain, which is generally what I do. You can also limit it to one response. This is nice if it's something you don't want them to be able to come back to and do multiple times. For instance, I don't want them to see all the answers on the quiz and then resubmit the quiz and act like they have a different grade than what they had the first time. I'm going to limit this to one response. After they submit it, you can set it where they can edit their submission if that suits what you're trying to do. If you want them to be able to go back, you can check that box. You can also check it so that they can see the summary charts and the text responses that go with that form. That's up to you. Sometimes this is not how you want to handle things. Next to that is presentation. You want it to show the progress bar. It's helpful to let people know how many more questions they have, as well as to shuffle the question order. Most of the time I do that. This one is really not that big of a deal. The last tab is for quizzes. Make this a quiz, assign point values, tell it when to release the grade. This one can be immediately after each submission because it's pretty cut and dry. And you can select what they can see. Now, my questions only have two answers, so seeing the correct answers is not that big of a deal. All of my questions are going to be worth 2 points, and I'm going to tell them that in the directions, so they don't really need to see that either for this, but if your questions are worth different point values, if you want them to be able to see the correct answers to study from, if you're not worried about them giving the answers to another class, you've got those options as well. Once you save that, whatever combination of settings you needed, you can go back into each question and go to the answer key. With that, you'll get to make it how many points you want to make it and decide if this is ethical or unethical. This one, unethical. I've checked which one's the right question. I click that. I get back to the question. I can see that I've selected it. I can see up here at the top that my quiz is now worth a total of 2 points because I've done that. Now all I have to do is go through on the other 9 of these that I created and put in the correct answer. It's automatically going to total that. It's automatically going to tell students what their score was. So that's up here in settings. That's where all of the behind the scenes happens and all of the choices that you as the form creator can make.